So I was looking at this WMBF news article, which shows Horry County roads are getting more and more crowded naturally, right? Because we're the number one, I think
We're growing so fast.
it's like the number one growing destination. Everybody's moving down here from the north because South Carolina is a great place to live. Problem is, there's more people on the road, there's more auto accidents, there's more pedestrian wrecks. And it's just a wild article because SCDOT, they keep track of all this periodically. Every year they'll measure each section of like 501, 17 and figure out, is the road traffic growing? And certainly it is. It was already a parking lot on 501.
Yeah. I think especially because we're growing so fast and some of our roads are designed to carry that much traffic. They first it was just business 17 and they did the bypass and they built up all those businesses. Like we've always been growing, but some of the infrastructure out where they're building, like even more up north, they haven't started to do any of that yet. So it just feels more congested than ever.
And then they're about to put I-73 in, right? Aren't they talking about that? And then that's going to be a straight interstate straight from Charlotte, right? I think it's going to hook into Charlotte or somewhere down through
Columbia.
Yep, straight to Myrtle Beach, so even more. But I'm just reading this article of the data from on 501. It's basically doubled in the last 2 years from Sockasty Boulevard on 501, Highway 17 to Highway 707. Doubled in traffic. So there's 80,000 cars a day that go.
That's crazy.
In that section. And it seems to be that's the 501 to Highway 701 on 4th Avenue to Highway 544. We all know 501's a parking lot. I mean, that's a disaster if we can get. But they've all doubled in the last 2 years as far as cars on the road when they're measuring it. And yeah, there's not many places to build. I mean, what are they going to do? I know I live out in Carolina Forest. They're trying to build like a frontage road back there to kind of connect everything.
Yeah.
But if you're not local and you get stuck in that traffic, I mean, you're there all day and it's a nightmare.
Yeah, it's awful. And I think it just, it speaks for itself. It's more people on the roads. It's going to be more accidents. But especially 501 in that Carolina Forest area, I mean, we can get punitive damages on cases sometimes just because people are supposed to know that 501 is a parking lot. You're supposed to be ready for those sudden stops all the time. And it's reckless at that point to not drive so carefully on those roads.
Yeah, that's a great point because you'll be coming from Conway, right?
Yeah.
You're in traffic, maybe in Conway City. You get going down 501, you're up to speed. Maybe you're going a little faster. You start passing those car dealerships and you start hitting those red lights.
Yeah.
Right at Tanger. And then a lot of rear end accidents happen.
And it happens fast and people are speeding down 501 and even going the speed limit down 501 but just not paying attention can be so dangerous just because of how many people are there and you don't know when people are going to pull out or stop in front of you.
Did you hear about they're going to turn Tanger into a bar scene?
That sounds dangerous.
Because they can't sell, I guess they can't find tenants to take the retail, so they're trying to rezone Tanger out there.
And that might be just because of all the traffic. I mean, I know, like I love a shopportunity. I'll go shopping. I'll have a whole day just for shopping. I don't ever go down there because I'm like, that is going to be hours just to get there and to get out. And there's not really all that much there. So I'm not surprised that location is.
Let's see, from Highway 31 to 17, it's gained about 5,000. This is straight from the DOT's website. Highway 31, let's see, on Highway 31 from Highway 22 to get to Grissom. So that's a real busy because everybody's getting on and getting off right there.
Yeah.
That's the Carolina Forest growth. It's went from 47,000 cars to 52,000 over the last 2 years. So more and more, they're not thinking about infrastructure when you got all these cars, these tourists, these new people moving into town. They're building houses building houses and apartment complexes right through there. And so, you got to watch out for it. And if we shoot these videos because if our clients and our people who follow us are aware, or maybe they can avoid these areas that are experiencing this tremendous growth, they'll lessen their risk of getting rear-ended by somebody who's not, is driving crazy on the roads and is not coming.
Yeah, who's not paying attention or who's not from here.
Yeah, because that's a big problem, man. We got schools starting back up. That's going to be crazy. Everybody's got to watch where they're going, beware of school zones. They've had 3 months off where they're just speeding down. I know I live out Carolina Forest, Forest Boulevard. You got multiple schools down through there. And so, when school comes on, people who don't have kids, they need to start paying attention because that's, you're going to have buses stopping. You're going to have
just bus stops, kids waiting on the side of the road. You have to be cognizant of all that stuff going on. And everything's moving slower, right? It's already moving slower because of more people. It's going to move even slower with school.
Got to give yourself extra time and just be ready and keep your head on a swivel. Because the police are definitely going to be out there. That's first few weeks of school. I mean, they're picking people up.
Yeah, they love the school zones.
So there's this other article about road rage in the top 10 states for road rage. And the United States. I don't know if you had a chance to read it, but California is number one. I wanted to talk to us about it because we get cases like this every once in a while. Maybe it's a hit and run and they go and catch somebody, or there's an incident on the side of the road. Luckily, South Carolina is not in the top 10, but it's got a good poll of people when they're doing these studies. This is a MSN article. They're doing this study about, what's causing this drivers to be so confrontational, and I think that goes into more cars on the road.
Yeah.
Here in Horry County, and not just during the tourist season. We're talking year long. There's more cars all throughout the year now. It used to be we were very cyclical. During the summer, everybody would blow up, and then it would kind of slow down when we got to the winter time. That's not the case anymore.
No, we're crowded all the time. And I think, we've got cases where road rage can be, they're literally running people off the side of the road. I had an experience where I honked the horn so someone didn't hit me, and the man got out of his car and came up to my window with literally a gun on his hip. And I was like, am I going to die because I just honked this horn? And I don't know what makes people so angry. What makes you so angry in those situations? I'm not sure.
I got the answer for you. Here's the survey. So top 5 reasons that these road rages, this is coming from the road rager, I guess, after they get arrested. Another driver was driving badly, right? And I guess, that would make anybody mad. The second reason, another driver was driving aggressively. Of course, if you think somebody's cutting you off driving recklessly, that would make me mad too. Another driver cut me off. I know we've had cases, we've heard that before for sure, 100%. I was already feeling stressed, and I guess the car set them off. So that's
I think that's what happened to me.
Yeah. And then another driver was tailgating me. So obviously if you look in your rearview mirror and somebody's on your butt, that will set you off. But when we get these cases, we find this when we send our FOIA. Right?
Yeah.
We get the a lot of times there's statements made when they're getting arrested when the troopers arrive, because if they have a road rage incident or a wreck happens. And then what kind of damages can we pursue if this happens, if we find this in a case?
Punitive damages all the time. It's really important too for our clients. Sometimes some of those statements they're recorded on the body cameras and stuff, but the first thing they'll tell us is, this is how he was acting, this is how it happened, this is how I think it was happening. So then we can go and do that investigation and make sure we preserve all those videos we need to preserve and talk to all those witnesses and even other drivers who may have seen them on the road earlier, because you don't just normally have one road. If you're mad, you're mad the whole time you're driving, not just that you're one person. But punitive damages in these kinds of cases are important. It can be scary. If the community really wants to deter that kind of behavior. I know we had in Georgetown, they killed somebody over a road rage incident, and that's awful. But the community's scared of that. I think even I still remember that. So.
And, sometimes we get these and we'll start doing an investigation. We figure out, it's not just an anger issue.
Yeah.
They were driving drunk, right? Or they were inebriated under drugs, under the influence.
Yeah.
That can actually help our clients, because maybe we can find a bar who overserved this person at night, and then they cause this, and it's just a big mess.
There's normally a lot more to the story than just a road rage.
Yeah, always. And so our investigation, getting our team involved as quick as possible, can help the clients. We can kind of turn these cases around. On the flip side, if you're angry, you're going to get arrested. So if you go and you bump somebody, you cut somebody off. Somebody got shot in Georgetown. There was somebody else who got shot. It was in the news. I don't think it was in this state. Maybe Georgia or something. They turned around and they were mad. Somebody cut them off, and he started waving a gun, and then
it gets crazy. And it's not just when you're a victim of that situation. You'll have physical injuries if you were in a car accident or something like that. But it's scary when you're involved in a road rage situation. It's not just the physical damages. It's the mental. You get fearful to honk your horn, even to drive defensively to protect yourself. You're scared that someone might just get angry for no reason. And so we've got cases like that where there are children in the car. They didn't want to get back in the car after they experienced that road rage incident with their mom. She had a hard time getting them back in the car because it can just be so frightening.
Yeah. And something we always tell our clients, what our clients really need to do is go seek that mental health treatment, even if it's just a telehealth visit. Because they'll try to tell us and they'll try to be tough about it. But when we start realizing that they are having PTSD or some kind of mental symptom, you got to get that documented by an MD, not just telling your lawyers. While you do tell us, and we'll try to tell you which way to go, tell your doctor everything so they can put that in the medical record. It'll help your case if we're helping you.
Right, because the insurance companies are going to pretend like it's not real. Oh, you were fine, everything was fine. But if you tell somebody about it and it becomes documented, then you can get compensated for all those mental injuries.
When life